In this video, we are going to take care of the island. We are going to create this island right here, and then we are going to create this shading, and after that we will put our palm trees onto the island. So creating the island is really as easy as simply grabbing the ellipse tool, and let me just hold down the shift key to create it, to create an ellipse just like that. Maybe let's not make it a perfect circle. So I'm gonna let go of the shift key to create an ellipse, but not a perfect ellipse. So I'm simply going to create maybe something like that. This should be fine, and I am going to give it a nice sandy color, just like that. And of course, I'm not going to need this bottom anchor point. Let me just zoom in a bit. I'm not going to need this bottom anchor point, so I'm simply going to select it. But this time, I am not going to remove it. I'm going to delete it. So I'm simply going to press delete key on the keyboard, just like that. And since it's now an open path, which we can see when we go to the preview mode, so I simply pressed the Control Y on the keyboard, and you can see that this is an open path, and that's not something we want. So really, to join these two left and this right anchor point, all you really need to do is to simply press Control J on the keyboard. And now when we take a look at it, we can see that this is a closed path, just like that. So now if I go back to the preview mode, you can see that we got our island created. So now we can simply grab our palm trees and simply move them onto the background actually, and we can make them just a bit bigger, just like that. And if you want, you can maybe move it down or maybe a bit up, just like that. So really, all we need to do to finish this island off is to simply create the shading. And as I said in the previous video, we are going to create it with a simple rectangle tool. So I'm going to grab it right here from my tools panel, and I am going to, let me just zoom a bit. I'm going to click somewhere here to make it as wide as the stem of my palm tree. Something like that should be fine. And I am going to make it black. Now what I want to do is I want to simply move these two bottom anchor points, so the left bottom anchor point and the right bottom anchor point, to the right, and I'm going to grab them with the direct selection tool. So I'm going to click on the left guy and on the right guy. I'm holding down the shift key, by the way, to add this right anchor point to the selection, and I'm simply going to move them to the right to somewhere here. This should be fine. And really, all we need to do is to simply drop the opacity down to around 30 or maybe even 20%. That's up to you which value you will go. And there you go. We got the shading created. So in this video, we created the island and then we created the shading. We of course put our palm trees onto the island, and really the last thing to do here would be to create the waves. And this is something that we are going to do in the next video.